Hello and welcome to this tutorial for the game Queensland. You'll be making your own sugarcane farm, but that attracts toads. Get them into the lakes to get points. Here's how you play it. You are going to keep playing until there are no more tiles left to refill this market with. Then the game is over and the 2 tiles that are left are removed. Whoever has the most points is the winner. You get points during the game, and there is a final scoring at the end. I'll explain that scoring later in this video, but again, the game ends when you can't refill the market anymore. If you have the most points after the bonus scoring, you are the winner. So, how do you play the game? What do you do when it's your turn? When it's your turn, you do 4 steps. Step 1. Take a tile and place it. Step 2. Place some toads on the tile and move all the toads on your land. Step 3. Maybe you or another player scores points for toads in lakes. Step 4. Refill the market. Let's go over those again in a bit more detail. Step 1. Take a tile. You have 3 to choose from at the market here. Take 1 and place it somewhere against your own farm that you have in front of you. It has to go against at least 1 other tile. You can't place them with just the corners touching. You're allowed to turn the tile, but in the end, you have to make it match up logically with the tile that you place it next to. It has to make sense. So you can place this one like this, but not like this, because that ruins the landscape. Also, keep an eye out on the little arrow that's on the tile. Next, step 2. You have to place 1 or more toads from the supply on the tile that you have just placed. That depends from which space on the market you just took it. My tile came from here. This is how many toads it shows. So I take that many from the supply and place them on my newest tile. But they're not done yet. They're going to move. Remember that the tile has a little arrow on it. That means all the toads on your farm are going to move in that direction. Not just the new toads, all the toads. Also the ones that were already there from a previous turn. The goal is to get them to a lake. Let the other players know which arrow it is and which direction it's pointing to. You can use this compass on the scoring board for that. If it's 1 red arrow, that means all your toads move 1 space in that direction. If it's 2 red arrows, then all your toads move 2 spaces in that direction. And if it shows a blue arrow, that means everyone's toads all move 1 space in that direction. Not just yours, all the players at the table. But the blue arrow is optional. You can choose to either move all your toads or none of your toads. Your choice. A few rules for that. Your toads can't move off the farm. If you'd have to move it further, it stays where it is. And the other rule is that once your toad is in a lake, like here, it never moves. Toads in lakes don't move anymore. That brings us to step 3, scoring points. If you have at least 5 toads in a lake, you get points. And not just you, every player at the table can score points if they have 5 or more toads in a lake on their own farm. If you have 5 toads in a lake, you get 5 points. Just move your own little cube forward on the scoring track. If you have more than 5 toads, you only get 3 points. Remove all the toads from the lake and put them back into the supply. Step 4. End your turn by refilling the market. Slide the tiles that were already there in the direction of the arrow, and then fill the empty space on the left with a tile from the supply. Place it face up. And then the player to your left goes next. That's it. That's how you play Queensland. All that's left is bonus scoring when the game is over. That's another few steps, and they go in this order. The bonus scoring starts with counting the toads. Count all the toads that are still left on your farm. The player who has the most toads loses 3 points. The player who has the fewest toads on their farm gets 3 points. The next step is removing all the tiles from your farm that have a toad on it. Take the tile and the toad and place it somewhere on the side. It's possible your farm has some gaps now. Then you count points for what you have on your own farm. These green bits are sugarcane. For every completed green field you have, you can take 2 points per tile. The field has to be finished. If it's unfinished, you get no points for it. But the nice thing is that if you happen to have the same field on one tile, like this one, you can count that tile twice. When you've taken your points for the green sugarcane fields, you can do the same for the yellow grain fields. For those, you get 1 point per tile, and the same rules apply. Almost there. It's possible that you have tiles that show a little scarecrow or a cow or a tractor. Count up all your cows and then look at your information sheet to see how many points that gives you. After that, do the same for the scarecrows, and then again with the tractors. The last thing you get bonus points for is lakes. You get 1 point for every lake on your farm. We're done. The information sheet will remind you what to do during your turn and how the bonus scoring goes at the end. I hope you feel like you understand Queensland well enough and that it sounds interesting. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and see you for the next one.